Today I'm going to be playing with the InMail's memory bundle from, it is upside down. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome to today's video. Today I'm doing this eyeshadow look using the InMail's memory bundle from Sydney Grace. I haven't used it in a little while, it needs to get some more love. And I wanted to talk about the concept of products within this space that were iconic, things that everybody was talking about. And why? Do we still have that feeling or that atmosphere within the, we'll say, eyeshadow YouTube space or beauty YouTube in general? Or do you feel that it's fading a bit? And again, why? So today I'm going to be playing with the InMail's memory bundle from Sydney Grace. I have the shades labeled up here so I can accurately tell you which ones I'm using. And I haven't actually used this palette as much as I thought that I would. I'm trying to figure out why. I know that Sydney Grace has one of the best matte formulas I've ever tried, and their shimmers are super beautiful. They are creamy, they are buttery, very, very, very soft and lovely. I think that because the shimmers are not very sparkly, I'm not drawn to them. I know they're beautiful, but they're not quite the sparkle that I like. And I think it might be the packaging which makes me not drawn to Sydney Grace in general. I think their formula is amazing. But I don't love their packaging. Even when they have a pre-made palette, it's just kind of average. Like the packaging is average, even though the formula is amazing. And for me, doing my eyeshadow is such an experience. I want to enjoy all of the elements, the actual packaging itself, the carton, what it's made of, the elements, but also the design on the packaging. And if it includes artwork or pictures, whatever that might be, I also want to enjoy the formula, of course, is the most important thing. But I'm more drawn to using palettes that have comfortable or lovely or attractive packaging. Anyway, I don't know what it is, but Sydney Grace has a fantastic formula. So I just want to play with this palette again because it has not gotten the love that it needs. I primed my eyes with a Glam Light primer. I'm going to link everything I'm using down below in the description box. So let's get going with this video. I'm starting with Moon Landing, and I'm going to do this as a transition tone. Just build it up in my crease area. Usually I start with the darkest first and I lighten from there, but today I'm actually going to do the opposite format and go in with a crease, a transition tone, and build it up from there. I was watching a video recently from Phelps. I think it was a declutter. It might have been a palette declutter. And she pulled out the Kathleen Lights X ColourPop Dream Street palette. And there was something that she said about this palette which really caught my ear. She said, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember the exact quote, but basically that the palette was kind of iconic, and it came out when everybody was still so excited about makeup. Getting into the eyeshadow game is the first time in my life that I've really cared much about makeup, and for me it's still very much about the eyes. I don't care too much about other kinds of makeup. I mean, I don't even have foundation or any kind of base product or primer or anything on my face. This is naked face, eye primer, and eyeshadow. When I'm done my eyeshadow, I'll put on a little bit of concealer because sometimes there's fallout and the concealer helps with that. A bit of powder to set it, and then something on my lips, and that's pretty much it. So I can't say that I love makeup the way that so many content creators here in this beauty space love makeup. I do love eyeshadow. And because I'm not, fully immersed in the makeup world, I freely admit that I don't know a lot of the history. I think that Amy Loves Makeup recently started a series on her channel talking about makeup history. And I haven't watched those videos yet, but it just reminded me that I don't actually know much about makeup history. In fact, I'm only about 3 years into this game. So as things were developing, I jumped in at a time where indie brands, I think, were becoming much more well-known and popular, and certain formulas and performance were becoming seen. You had the sorts of things you might find in Ulta or Sephora, and then you had indie, and indie was just changing the game. I think that's about where I got into this field about 3 years ago, and I don't know much of what was going on before that. I've heard about the heyday, the golden years of beauty YouTube and all that stuff. That's not what I'm talking about per se. What I want to talk about today is what she said about when everyone was excited about it, and how there were certain items that were simply iconic. They were special and exciting and innovative and different and new, and everyone was talking about them. Now I'm going to take the same brush and go into Relax. I'll just deepen up this space a little bit. It's also going to warm up the space. So if the Kathleen Lights and ColourPop palette, Dream Street, there was something about that palette that was kind of game-changing. I wasn't on scene when that came out. But I do remember when I started getting into eyeshadow that there were certain things everybody would talk about. They were the palettes that were impossible to get, the palettes that nobody would get rid of, the palettes that were discontinued and so beloved that everyone was requesting the companies to bring them back. Things like Dream Street or the Zodiac palette, things like At Forest Sight from Raw Beauty Christie and ColourPop. You had Club Nebula from Jelle Nyqvist, and some of the melt palettes that everyone loved and couldn't get anymore, like Beetlejuice and what is it? The one with the skull, something in Muerte, Vida Muerte, I forget. The one with the skull, the two pieces that came together. One was really bright, one was dark and moody. Because everybody was so excited about these items, I felt like it gave them an intrinsic worth, that there was something different about these specific items, and that's why everyone wanted them. Now, of course, you've got a mixed bag of people who love makeup, people who collect for the sake of collecting or collect because they genuinely want to use those products. I still see, Deep Sea Luster from Kaleidos. I still see listings on Mercari and Poshmark for people who are in search of Deep Sea Luster, and they're willing to pay high amounts of money for this eyeshadow palette that probably doesn't perform well anymore. I mean, it's years old. Once in a while, you see a Deep Sea Luster listed for sale, and it's multiple hundreds of dollars. And that was another one. It was just the unicorn. It was hard to get, hard to find. If you got it, it was highly sought after. You could make a killing if you were to sell it, but would you sell it because everybody wanted it? I've gotten a smaller, tighter brush and I'm picking up Beyond. I'll put that out here. So these are the types of palettes that I'm talking about. Palettes where their reputation preceded them. And I don't know what it was. There was just something about these palettes. Maybe it was color story. Maybe it was formulation. Maybe it was packaging. Maybe it was a collaboration that, it wasn't really done at that time. I mean, now everyone's collaborating with everyone. But as far as I understand, back then, people didn't really collab. I think I heard, I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, and this is really showing my ignorance, but I think I heard that Jaclyn Hill collabing with Morphe was kind of a big deal. Like that was maybe one of the first influencer collaborations. I don't know. I'm just trying to recall information I've picked up from random YouTube videos over the last couple of years. All of this is to say, do you guys remember those days? And how do you feel that the industry compares now? Because now I get the impression that people are not as excited.
To clarify, I think today we are excited like kids in a candy store, jumping at the plethora of tasty treats. But I am referencing more a sense of anticipation, where the long pauses between launches cultivated an air of expectancy, and people had room to get excited about and enjoy time using these new items.
I feel like there are so many brands, so many new releases and launches all the time that we are inundated. And the question has to be asked, are these things unique anymore? Is there really something different about this collaboration or this formula or this color story or this product itself? Now I want to dress up this look. I'm going to go into Green Mango. This is one of the shades that most excited me about this collection. I'm going to pick it up with my finger because I just know it's going to perform nicely. It's so smooth and creamy, and I do want it to be slightly diffused. I'm not trying to do a faux cut crease. So I'm going to lay it down and kind of see where it takes me. So when it comes to actual formulations, you could ask, is there truly anything new? And now I'm going to wipe off my finger and pick up this purpley brown shimmer called Rover. Just a little bit. I'm going to use this to transition from the green into my mattes. I just picked up gold by accident. Anyway, as far as formulations go, for a while it was, the better shimmer formula, the more metallic or wet looking shimmers that the indie brands were doing that the mainstream brands were not doing. Then the mainstream brands started to go, people like this, and catch up, and they're always behind the ball, right? After super sparkly or metallic or wet looking shimmer formulas, then we started to see duochromes, and then we started to see multi-chromes, and now we're seeing holochromes, like holochromes are the new thing, and it's interesting to watch that development. But as far as packaging and color stories and collaborations, is there really anything that excites us anymore? Now, I'm not specifically talking about myself because, again, I don't have this deep-seated love for all things beauty, but I'm really interested to hear the perspective of people who do. People for whom this has been a long-term love, or, you know, you've watched the industry develop over decades. My finger, I think, my smallest finger will go into green mist. I would like to hear how you see things moving and changing, how you see things developing, what you have seen. Do you like it? Are you excited? Are you excited about this industry? Or are you feeling overwhelmed or overrun? Like, there are so many launches and so many new brands. Every time I go into YouTube, there's another creator that I watch reviewing a new brand that I've never heard of. And oftentimes these brands, like these new palettes, you know, they have the same kind of formula, the same kind of layout, the same kind of color story, and it's beautiful. But it's coming to the point where I'm feeling less excited just to watch these videos. I'm like, oh, there's another one. What is truly special? What is truly exciting? And have we lost that feeling because there's just so much in the market? Let's go into Honeydew for the lower lash line. It's going to be a nice counterpoint for this upper inner corner area. I would love to hear your thoughts. Again, I don't claim to have much knowledge about the beauty industry. I don't know much about what was going on in the eyeshadow space even before I started my own journey here. I'm sure that there are lots of areas where I am quite ignorant of the details. So if you could educate me, I would enjoy that. I would like to hear what I'm missing. I don't know, I just think it's so interesting because she said that this Kathleen Light's ColourPop collab was iconic. I think she said iconic. I don't remember the exact quote, I'm sorry. But she said that it was when everybody was so excited about makeup. And it gave me the impression that that's not really the case anymore, or at least not in the way that it used to be. And I'm curious to see how YouTube or Instagram have changed this arena and how new brands have changed the arena. Same brush into green mist again. Let's just brighten this up here. I don't know. Because I don't have a lot of personal experience here, I'm really more of an onlooker. I'm watching the content from people who've been around for a long time and hearing their thoughts and comments and their feelings. And I get this sense that some of them are even a little worn out too. You know, people who have been creating content in the eyeshadow space, we'll say, for 7, 8, 9 years, I get the impression that they're feeling worn out, where it's just the same rote over and over again. Oh, look, a new palette, we can do the thing, and everybody's going to get excited for 2 weeks, and then, oh, look, there's a new palette here. Is there still joy? Is there still genuine excitement? Are those people still enjoying it, or is it just a job? I'm going to close out this video by finishing up the other side, and I will be right back. Okay, guys, to finish off this look, I used a little bit of black in my waterline. I don't know, something about it, even though the look itself is not very dark, I wanted to go smoky. I put on some mascara, and that's it for the eyes. I'm now realizing that I had planned on doing a liner, and I did not. That's okay. On my lips, I have this liner from Italia Deluxe. The shade is called 1047 Hot Red. Haven't used this one at all yet. This is the first time. And then to fill in my lips, I used the shade Mid-Century from ColourPop's Glowing Lip. I like this formula. It's not super moisturizing the way that a lip oil or a lip balm is, but it does give me some color, actually a good amount of color, and it's very smooth and creamy. And I think that's it. Is that it? I think that's it. I would really enjoy hearing your thoughts on this subject. In your memory, what really stands out as something which is iconic in this space? Maybe it was a formulation, you know, improvement, or collaborating with somebody. Maybe it was a color story where the mainstream brands were all doing kind of the same thing, and then an indie brand, or perhaps a mainstream brand, somebody just stepped out of the box and made a color story that captured people's attention. What is iconic in your memory? Because again, I haven't been here long enough to really have a lot of those memories. I remember items that were highly sought after because they were iconic, but I don't necessarily have the experience of feeling why they were the OG, or why they were really groundbreaking or trend setting or anything like that. And I would like to hear what your experience is. I'd also like to hear how you're feeling about it now. Have you been in this space long enough to remember the good old days, the heyday of beauty YouTube? Maybe that was really dramatic and it's better now. Maybe that was more focused on the products themselves versus all the new, and you were able to really sit and enjoy a new product. Or maybe, again, things are better now. Maybe you're enjoying the rapidity of releases, and you're enjoying the creativity and the fact that anybody is just starting up a brand and going for it. I would really enjoy hearing your thoughts, because this is something which caught my ear when Jen Phelps said a time when everybody was excited. Is that not the case now? Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I would love to hear your thoughts. Do consider subscribing before you go. Perhaps you like my content and you want to see more. I generally upload several videos every week, and I'll see you guys again in my next one. Bye!